Hi, girlies. Welcome to Book Please Podcast. It's Alina here.
Hey, guys. It's Amanda.
Do you know what I'm thinking about?
Me?
Yes. Actually, kind of, yeah, I am. Because every time I've worn this sweatshirt to record, you've worn it too. And I was like, this is the first time that you're not accidentally matching with me.
I wonder where it is. I haven't worn it in a while. Maybe it's in the laundry, but I miss it.
Yeah, like I always just rediscover it and then I live in it and then I lose it again in like a drawer and then I rediscover it.
Listen, Alex, we need this in every color.
When you work from home, the outfits that you can just get away with are just turn. It's like one big sweatshirt or whatever and you just like rotate every like
couple days. If I was on a video call and they asked me to stand up, it would be my Hello Kitty PJs
it is
up on the bottom.
Funny that you say that because my boyfriend always makes a joke about that. He's like, imagine they just looked at you and they went, stand up, stand up. I'm like, half the time I don't have pants on. I don't, like literally. Or I'm just like in a big t-shirt, in a big sweatshirt, and I'm like walking around and I have my little high socks on and that's my vibe.
See, I'm kind of, I don't know if everyone's like this, but I'm kind of like not a germaphobe, but I work out in the morning, right? So when I come home, sometimes I just have to hop right on to work.
Right.
So I will sometimes wear like the pants that I wore to the gym and sit down on my work chair.
Yeah.
And I can't sit like bare on it now because I think about like how many times I sat on it with dirty clothes on that it like skeeves me out. Same thing with like my bed. Like I have to take off everything. I can't climb into bed. I'm like such a nut job. Yeah, I'm so.
Okay, I understand the gym thing, but I don't understand when people are like, you're on the bed with outside clothes. That's not me.
Oh, I feel like I never used to be like that, but like with age, I'm more like, oh my God, like I was sitting somewhere, I was sweating, and then I was I'm gonna get something.
I'm not like, okay, if you're disgusting sweating from the gym, I get it, but like definitely not just like in my clothes, like
even if you ran to the store, I'm still like, you left the house. It was exposed to the outside.
Oh, you're one of them.
I am. But I won't comment on, it's just like poor Danny. He's like, right when he gets home from work, I'm like, shake everything off. Because he's exhausted, so he just wants to crawl into bed. And I'm like, no. And he's like, you're so annoying.
That's really funny. Like, that's like those people that are like neurotic about taking your shoes off at the door. Like, I'll do it out of respect when I go anywhere. But like, if somebody comes over or if I'm having like a gathering of people, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're wearing like a full outfit. Like, take off your heels and walk around barefoot at the party. Like, there are people like that.
Oh, yeah. I'm not that bad.
Yeah.
I will take off shoes at other people's homes because I want to be respectful and I don't know what they're thinking. Yeah. But I would never ask anyone to take off their shoes.
Yeah. Like, and if you run in and like also you follow suit, like if you walk in with people and they're taking off their shoes, like, and you're just hanging, whatever. But if you're having a party at your house or like a gathering or something like that, and like people are dressed up and they have their like nice little fits together, you're not going to have half them in like their socks or barefoot in the house. No. Like, I find that wild.
Don't get me started on like washing hands. Like anytime you leave the house, anytime you eat, like wash hands. I'm like a Nazi. I'll be like, you just touched something. You need to go wash your hands.
I have like a thing with washing my hands, and my hands are so dry because of it. And also because of working remotely, I brush my teeth all the time. Like now that I can.
Remember I made a comment on your toothbrush and I was like, girl, this head.
I brush so aggressively. It looks like it goes to war. And like that will be like just for like 2 weeks of use. Like I changed the heads on it's an electric one. So I have a big pack of like heads that I switch out. I will just literally... they're bad.
Yeah, once they start looking crazy, I'm like, all right, it's time to switch it.
Yeah. Mine are always looking crazy, though. Mine are always looking crazy. But yeah, like now I've been neurotic with the toothbrushing all the time, like after every meal. But
now I'm going down a rabbit hole. I feel like, how do you feel? I'm also a little crazy. Like, I don't like... it's funny because I saw this on an episode of Real Housewives when Rachel went out to eat with Jen Fessler, and she's like, "Do you want to like split the pizza?" And Jen's like, "No, I'm not into that." Like, okay, and I get that too. Like, I don't want to share my food, but I want to try other people's food.
No, but what you're saying are two different things. Yeah. You can try other people's food at the table, but splitting something when you want that to be your meal is different.
I hate tapa places. Like I don't want.
I'm not like that either.
I just want my own
People
meal.
are like, oh my God, family style. And I'm like, no. And because I feel like we're also super passive because we're not going to be like taking this stuff from the table. Like we're going to let everybody. Well, that's how I am.
And then I'm like starving after.
Yeah, you don't want to take it. And I'm also like, I am such a plain loser eater. Like I am not. I'm not
exotic.
Crazy.
Same. I'm the same way.
First of all, it's hard to find things to split with me. Good luck. And then if we do split things, like I'm only going to want like the one or two things on the table. Like there will be a full table of food, but it's like, no, I need just like that one thing. So I'll just be like, let me help you guys out. I'll take myself out of the equation for you because it's just not going to work.
I have to really like, for example, like if my boyfriend wants to split something, like I don't mind it. But like anyone else, I'm just like, no. Or I'm like, I want both of these. Can you get one? And then I get this one and then we share. Like that's the only time.
That makes sense because you're like half and half. But it, then you at least know you're getting a meal out of it.
I hate going out with strangers and they like want to share things and I'm like, no.
Yes, especially because I always feel like I am like compromising on getting whatever I'm going to get. Or if someone just starts ordering shit from the table, I'm like, I don't eat that.
When Jen Fessler said like no, like
I'm
want my
dead.
I was like, wow, good for her. Like I could never. I would be like, oh, of course. But let's normalize it. Let's normalize saying no.
I will say like, guys, I'm just going to let you know now I'm so plain you're not going to find anything. So let me just
Oh, and then I feel like I'm at the point with my boyfriend where when we go out, he's like, just give me 3 options of appetizers because everything I name, I know you're going to not want.
That's so funny. It's funny too because I feel like my boyfriend and I have found like all of like our safe foods. Like we like a lot of like the same things. So we'll always know which things stick out on the menu that we're both going to like.
So no, he's always like tuna tartare. I'm like, I don't want no tuna tartare.
No, tartare.
Like I want some calamari. Like I want something a little more.
Love the calamari. Love the guac. Like calamari.
See, I'm not a guac. Unless you go to Tap 42, their guac with the corn. Oh, yeah, so good.
They do have a good guac,
but that's about it.
Yeah. Quickly about the hand washing thing. This just reminded me too. I am offended when you want to go wash your hands after touching my dog. Like,
I can't help that.
Like, not you.
I'm like that though.
I mean, like, is somebody seriously being like, oh my God, your dog is dirty? Like, my dog is cleaner than your kid.
But I do it discreetly.
Okay, I didn't know you did this.
I know. Now I just told on myself.
Yeah. If somebody is going to be like, oh my gosh, wash your hands because you touched the dog is my son. What are you doing? You don't need to wash your hands. He's clean. He lives luxury.
We need to talk about this, though. Your dog doesn't shed. There's dogs that do shed where I'm like, okay, if I'm
actually, that makes sense.
Yes, if they shed and you're like going to eat or like you rub I think that's like.
My dog does not shed. He's living a life of luxury. And I'm looking at these people like, you guys don't have a good heart. Like, you don't know that this is a baby. Like, I just can't. Like, I fully look at people so differently. I know I shouldn't. I understand it, but I'm so biased to the extreme.
I would be the same with my dog.
Yeah. Or if like people are like, oh, get down. I'm like, no.
Oh, if you're not a dog person.
This is my son.
Oh, yeah. My boyfriend's like that with his dog.
Yeah.
But he's a big dog.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge.
Yeah, and he sheds.
And also, like, when he eats, he, like, slobbers all over. And I'm like, he needs to eat outside. Like,
yeah. That's
you know, really I love. Like, Jax, I love you. But you're a little sloppy eater.
Yeah. Keep the mess contained. I get it.
We love dogs.
Yeah. Before we move on, let's talk about our Marlins event really quickly.
Coming up soon.
All our girlies local to Miami. We are so excited for this event. We're hosting a panel with the Miami Marlins on September 5th at 5 p.m. Don't be late. So, doors open at 4:30. Do what people do to me and pretend it starts at 4:30 so you can get there on time because we're going to start pretty soon after. Amanda and I are going to host a panel. You're going to engage in a book swap there, which is going to be so fun. So make sure you bring a book. We're going to be talking to Bookstagrammers, a book club member, or she started like one of the biggest book clubs in the country. We're going to be talking to an author, have a chat. It'll be so fun, and it'll be like a big pregame event to the game, so then we can all sit together and watch the game together. We're so excited.
Yep, and I would say readers of all levels. If you're just getting into it, that's okay. You know, if you've been reading for years, that's also fine. And even if you are curious and want to check it out and want to watch a baseball game and make some new friends, Come.
It's so fun. The tickets are like max $35. You get a baseball game. You just get to have like a fun little pregame event. Like we'll be there. We'll all get to chat, talk, like meet new people. It'll be so much fun. You'll get a free Miami Marlins bookmark for attending the event. And they were made special for this event. So it's not like they just have them on sale anywhere. So that'll be exciting too.
And it'll be an every year thing if we, have a big showing.
Let's have a good one.
Do it.
So we could do it again next year.
Yes.
We're so excited. We'll see you on September 5th.
Yeah, message us if you guys have any questions. And if you plan to bring a big group, also message us and you can save some money.
Yes. So exciting. Now, one other thing on my mind really quickly before
you have a
we
lot
get
on your
into
mind. No,
our
I'm sorry.
stories, I just got this text before we started recording, and it was like, oh, had such a great time last night. And I get these spam texts all the time. And even
you shouldn't be like, send me money then.
No, but I get them often, and they're all random numbers. This shit is going to ruin relationships.
I mean, I've never had this happen to me. But then again, I change my number a lot, so I feel like I'm super hard to get a hold of as it is.
Maybe because your number is like new to the circulation, so you're not on those lists.
I've never once received anything. But I see what you say. Like, if I was sitting next to Danny, I'd be like, who the fuck is that?
Imagine. No, I've been talking about that. Like, so many people have been talking about this. My coworkers were just telling me that this was happening to them. And it's like these really intricate details, and they like pretend they know you. I don't know what the goal is.
Yeah, do you ever write back?
No.
I would totally mess with them.
I just block. But I'm just saying, could you imagine? And how easy is it? Like, if your partner is looking at you and they're like, who is that? And you're like, I have no idea. Like, that sounds crazy. You have no idea.
This is the test. You better fucking trust me.
I'm just saying, like, this,
no idea.
I know there's somebody that somebody that's backfired on. The scammers, do something else. Like, you're already trying to scam somebody. Like, this is a little too close to home.
But I'd rather you pick on me than like an old person and try and get this social, because old people definitely don't know no better, and I feel bad.
Like, if you're going to the store and buying gift cards and sharing the number, like, you're doing something wrong. Like, please do not buy gift cards to
don't
pay a bill.
ever give your social over the phone. I say this, but when like my bank is like verified with the last 4 digits, I'm like, I'd rather give you that than my like card number.
No, for real. For real. So the Olympics ended this past Sunday. It was quite a week of events, but what stuck out to me the most was like the most unfortunate part of it was the saga surrounding Jordan Chiles' bronze medal in the floor routine.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch any of it except for the basketball, the France verse, not by choice, my boyfriend wanted to watch it. Yeah, but everything else, like I've heard about this through social media.
Right.
Like everything that, like Simone killing it, all those things are from social media.
Yeah. So basically, I'll just give the quickest synopsis I can. Jordan performed the floor routine. It was an individual event. So this was her first individual medal ever. She came in third. But what happened was she went out there, killed it, and then they posted her score. Right after they posted her score, her coach, which is completely valid and allowed, went to the table and disputed something and said, hold on a second, this should actually be this many points. And they said, you know what? You're right. So they corrected it by 0.1. It bumped her to third place, and it bumped, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Barbasu from Romania into fourth place. So she would have been the third place winner had they not corrected the score. But it was agreed in that moment, like fresh after, like, yes. And it was a small discrepancy, but it made the difference. Yes. Now, that was valid and that was okay. And it was sad because she prematurely was like celebrating. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm in third. Nobody gave her the medal. She didn't go to the podium. It wasn't like, oh my God, they stripped her of this medal. But, when they posted the final score, she was bumped down and that was it. Jordan had her moment on the podium. It was beautiful. Then Romania, which is so ridiculous, disputes it.
Tacky.
That's tacky because if you dispute it saying that's not the right score, I respect you. They were not disputing the score. They were disputing the time. Yeah. You have a 1 minute window from when a score posts to appeal it.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, actually, you appealed it 1 minute and 4 seconds after the score posted, not 1 minute after the score posted. You weren't within the 1 minute. You were 4 seconds too late. So the previous score should stand.
That's crazy to me. I feel like score should matter most.
Correct.
You know, all those other rules, I get why they're in place, but at the end of the day, she had a great score
Yes.
that bumped her to third.
Yes.
So she should get, I think it's ridiculous.
Horseshit. So
Yeah.
basically, the Olympic Committee that was reviewing this appeal said, oh, okay, 4 seconds too late. Nope, we're not going to do this. We're reinstating the previous score. Jordan, we're stripping you of your medal. Hand it over to Romania. That to me is so vile. And the thing that is the worst part of it, she hands over her medal. She puts out a statement that she's going on a social media she was like, thanks guys, I just need to go on a little hiatus because, you know, I need it for my mental health.
Which I get.
And then the U.S. gets a hold of footage and says, wait a minute, this is time-stamped. The appeal initially came in at 47 seconds. So that means that we were 13 seconds early on the deadline. And the Olympic Committee said, we don't appeal an appeal. Like, we already ruled on it. Even if this is accurate and conclusive evidence, we don't review it again. So it stands. So even though the U.S. has conclusive, accurate
It's like some
evidence,
double jeopardy shit.
if I were Romania, I wouldn't want the medal because I didn't earn it.
Yes.
And you're always going to look at that medal like this is tarnished. And if it was over a scoring issue, rightfully so. But this is over a timing issue. First of all, the 4 seconds alone, I would have been like, leave it. If the score is valid, the score is valid. That's coward shit to go back and fight over 4 seconds if you know that she earned it by her score. But then if you're going to go back and find that there was no timing issue, that medal is Jordan's, period.
Yeah. Honestly, I think Jordan should hold her head high. Like, she knows she
Yeah.
deserved it.
Everybody
she knows
knows
she
it.
earned it.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, let them fucking be petty.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think obviously it sucks. You know, you train your whole life for something
Yeah.
like this. And then, you know, you deserve it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, people let you down.
This has been like a long fought battle, and I think it's going to have implications for the future. I think this is going to spark changes in the rules because people are saying, like, how can you not re-review an appeal just because you made a decision? Your decision was wrong. The evidence, if the evidence really shows that it came at 47 seconds, the medal is Jordan's. There's no question. So, and other people argue that there shouldn't even be a 1 minute deadline. They're like, if the score was wrong, the score was wrong. Like, let's say if the judges flopped on something or missed something or were completely wrong about a call, if people notice it 2 hours later, some people believe like that should still stand. Like, why is there a minute to review?
I feel for her.
Yeah.
But she'll be okay.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
You won third.
The one other
We're
thing.
giving you a medal like Flavor Flav.
Oh, yeah. The bronze clock. LOL. Flavor Flav. That was cute, though. Good looks. The other thing that I thought was so funny from the Olympics is they decided that they're not doing breakdancing next year.
I didn't even know they had breakdancing.
This was the first and only year.
Oh.
So they tried it out this year, and that shit was so turned and ridiculous that they were like, we're not doing this again. That we're done. I even wonder, like, what happens with these people's medals? Like, does it even mean anything at this point?
I was going to say, like, I would love to be like, I want a medal, and they don't even do it anymore. So I'm like one of the only people to get.
See, I would feel like invalidated. Like, this
no.
shit isn't even real. It's BS. Yeah. But yeah, if you win a medal, you win a medal.
Not everyone gets a trophy, so good for you.
That is funny. Let's get into the real tea.
Oh, we're talking about Real Housewives?
New Jersey Housewives.
Oh my God, we have to. Okay, let's start from like the last episode.
Okay.
Not them watching it together.
Yes.
So that sit down. First off, outfits were.
So this is like D-Day. This is at the Last Supper. This is at the table. Everybody comes to air out their shit.
I thought someone was gonna push someone in front of a train. No, I'm kidding.
No,
That's
but
fucked
for real, why do they keep going to rails?
I
Like,
know.
it's so
I'm
dangerous.
like, this isn't safe.
This is not safe. Oh my God. It's not safe for the passengers on the train or the people around it.
I feel like I don't care what people say. People like team the people that were sitting together, Melissa, Rachel, Danielle.
100%.
I'm like all about those girls.
That's the room I would be in.
Yeah, that's the room I would want to be in. Yeah.
And
But I'm also like, I mean, I love Dolores. I love her, love
Dolores.
her.
She's the
and
only one.
she's the only one that like, you know, is kind of like in limbo, like, you know, friendly with everyone. But I don't know. I can't. Ugh.
I love Dolores.
I love
So
her.
she doesn't
doesn't
but
count.
that whole
Yeah.
other room is just like, and you know how you know we're so right? Because you and I, sometimes we don't align with like certain characters and shows. And this is just clear black and white. Like that side, like Jen Aiden, I'm sorry. I cannot imagine
She's so
somebody who
trash.
watches this and sees Jen Aiden's perspective. I can't fathom the
I
argument.
see so many comments. People are like, oh, Jen and Teresa. I'm like, what?
That's
what?
crazy to me. I feel like I respect Teresa like as an OG. Like she's
Yes.
an iconic part of the show. I love her daughters. I feel for them.
Yes.
I have cried for her family through so much shit that
Agreed.
they went through. But like I can say like, girl, you are not right and you are super dramatic. And to me the biggest thing here is like, once Teresa was disproven, she has this whole thing with this stupid lawyer come to her house. She has everybody sit down, listen to this, and says a whole lot of nothing.
It was nothing.
First of all, Margaret, oh, girl, let me give you back your flowers for that floral delivery.
I was here for that. I was like, listen,
That
I don't
was
care for Margaret
savage.
much.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's some boss
Me
ass shit.
neither. I don't care, but I'm starting to really love her because what came out was basically like Teresa has this whole vendetta about Margaret and she's built this shit up. Like Margaret has done all of these things and basically is pinning a lot of things that have leaked on Margaret meeting with her husband Louis' ex. And Louis' ex is a crazy ass woman going to these people trying to air out Louis' laundry.
And she don't got to. We know Louis ain't
yeah,
shit.
we already know, honey, boo boo.
He's digging himself a hole.
Yeah, we already know. But she's like, oh, Margaret is the mole, and she's meeting with the ex.
Fucking
and there's
rat
like,
Jackie.
Yeah, there's a timeline pinning this to 2021. And Margaret's like, hold on a minute. Like, I never met with this bitch in 2021. This came after something that, like, I didn't like you for in 2022. So everything that happened that year was not me. Turns out Margaret goes and finds out it's Jackie. Jackie has no choice but to admit it when it's like held against her, like, and she's just sitting, because Melissa was the one, right, who said it. Melissa was like, Jackie, you have to, if you were meeting with the ex and it was really you, it's gonna come out. There's gotta be proof.
Even Jen
So
Aiden was
just
like,
say it.
speak forward. Yeah. See, my thing is, I don't fuck with Jackie because she when she got accused, she said to Margaret, no fucking way not. And then when she's like, there's proof, she's like, okay, I did. Like, what are you lying for? Like, I have no respect for her.
Jackie is the worst, and she's such a flip-flopper. Like,
You saw she was scared to walk outside, too?
Yeah. Everything she stood on about herself and was like, oh, Teresa did all these things. It's like she's such a, like, wannabe, like, kiss ass that she just, like, dropped all her morals and everything that she felt about being hurt by this girl and was like, oh, let me be your little follower and, like, come around and kiss your ass and be nice to you because, like, whatever reason, bullshit. She has nobody. And it's like, I have no respect for Jackie. I can't even believe. And it was so funny to me that once it came out, point blank, and Jackie's saying to your face, Teresa, it was me.
Yep.
She literally goes, I forgive you. I hate you, Margaret. And I'm like, are you? This just proves that Teresa just hates Margaret to hate Margaret. She just wants to hate Margaret so bad. So she's just throwing shit at her wall, blaming her for no reason. Even when it's proven and the person said, no, that was actually me, she's still going up against Margaret.
This is my thing. I think Teresa, the whole Margaret thing stems from when before they had the reunion, Margaret had people over.
Yeah.
And it was an attack on Louis. So she's ride or die for these fucking men. And I get it. Like, I would be ride or die for my husband too. Like,
yeah.
But this is just like, when he, wished ill on Margaret's kid, even Teresa making comments about marrying a plumber, like, it's just very fucking distasteful.
Yeah.
That's why her and Jen are great together. Jen's like, oh, I'm married to a plastic surgeon, yes, bitch. Well, what, yes, you make money from the show, but like, it's just so, I can't stand them.
God forgive me, and I don't wish this upon her, but I feel as though something really is going to happen to humble Jen Aiden so badly.
She needs to be humbled.
She is she just is so out of touch with reality and what's important. And her defense is always, oh, my money, the amount of bathrooms I have, this,
The Ferraris
that.
I'm counting.
Yeah, she's
Didn't
like,
her
oh,
husband
so what
cheat
if
on her?
Yeah, continuously. Like, he's still doing it. He's
Like-
probably out with somebody right now. He doesn't even sleep inside the house. And it's like, she is so out of touch, and it's just so disgusting on her. Like,
Let's go on a positive note.
Yeah.
So one part that I cried at, and I'm a fucking crybaby. You guys know this. So when Melissa and Joe were talking,
Yeah.
and they were gonna have the sit down, and she's like, do you want me to like hash things out? Like, how do you want me to
I
go into
love
this?
that.
And then she's like, as your wife, I will put my differences aside for you if that's what you want.
This is your sister.
Yes. And I was crying because there's so much love there, and she can. I mean, it's hard. Like having Teresa as a sister-in-law, I can imagine that's super hard.
Right.
But she's also like, this is family. Like I get it.
Yeah.
And then when he was like, nope, like I've made peace with it.
Yeah.
I don't want anything changed. She went in, and she wasn't that bitchy either. She
Yeah.
was very batting for her friends.
Correct.
And then saying my brother married a like I was just like, I can't.
And even for him to be done, he knows it's also years on his wife that this woman has wronged her, and he's being there for her as well. And he's like, no, we're not putting this shit aside because she's my sister. Like, you're my wife. And I love exactly what you're saying, that she was there.
And it's sad to see it. Like, I don't want any siblings to go through what they went through. Like, even Danielle with her family, like, that's tough. You know, like, I want everyone to be happy. I would put stuff aside for family. Like, I think everyone should do that. But Teresa makes it hard.
How can Teresa not see that Melissa sat there and said this to her brother? Like, can't you at least see her heart in any way to be like, wow, like that was a big thing? Would Teresa ever do such a thing? Absolutely not.
And it's sad. I mean, I see Teresa's good side sometimes. Like when she was cool with Danielle, like she had her back when she hit Jen and she went out to like go and chase her.
Yeah.
Like I see it sometimes, but then I feel like I want to like shake her. Like, what the hell are you thinking with this situation?
Yeah, she's a little wild. So she is, and it's sad. I just feel like once she puts in her head like, oh, I don't like you, like that's just what it is, and everything is their fault. How many times have things happened in the past and she's like, oh, it's Melissa. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with Melissa. She did the same thing last season. Like, she just thinks it's whoever she doesn't like, and she puts it on them without any like backing it up whatsoever.
And look at their family. They go through so much shit, and they're still a family. Like, they took their daughter to college. They do things as a family.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like poor Teresa, like, first husband, didn't work out great.
Yeah.
You got beautiful girls from him, which is great.
Yeah.
But now you're dating freaking Louis, who adds no value to your life.
The worst of the worst.
Like
that podcast thing that he dedicated to her was so cringe and uncomfortable.
cringe.
I was like, somebody please, like, I feel like something is happening, like I expel this weird energy like from my screen.
She reminds me of me dating
like
people
possessed.
like younger, like, where I was just like not mature yet, and now I'm like, okay, you have daughters, you have a family, you're a little
How
older.
are you buying it?
You should be picky. You can be picky. You're fucking Teresa.
I really wonder, like, how do her daughters just like blindly sit by and like?
And I hate that her daughters are involved too. Like,
Yeah.
I think they need to stay out of it. Like, I would still, even if my mom and aunt didn't get along, like my uncle, I would want to not get involved in that.
Correct. I totally agree.
All right, I'm sorry. Before we go down a rabbit hole,
you're good. Well, what did you think before we like move forward? How they all like watched it back in their separate rooms instead of giving us like a traditional reunion or a different type of format?
Honestly, I'm over the show. I think they need to like shut it down for business. It needs to be done. These girls are forced to hang out with each other. They don't even like each other. It's not fun anymore. It's all, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the drama.
Actually, yeah,
But
I
think
don't
they need
agree.
to move on. I think they need to move on.
You know how they're saying like, oh, we're going to give you a new cast and whatever.
I don't want a new cast. I just want it
Yeah,
over.
like, oh no.
Let's do like Jersey Shore.
I don't
Oh, no, we don't do
understand.
Jersey Shore.
That's already happening.
Yeah, never mind.
I
We don't
don't
need that.
understand how people are saying like, oh, they need to switch it up because this wasn't a good season. This was like the best season. It was so crazy. It was so lit. It was so dramatic. I was so hooked. I haven't watched their seasons in years, and I started picking it back up.
I know, but don't you feel? But I feel like I'm so
This wasn't
grown.
a bad season though.
It was a lot of drama, yes.
Yeah.
But I feel like,
It's a lot.
Like, we're fucking
We
how
can't
old
relate.
now? Let's
Yeah,
move
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love other people's drama, but like I can't imagine that in my life.
I would love to see peace. Like, I just really want to see like Teresa and Melissa's families.
I want to
together,
see
but I
Teresa
don't blame
divorced
Melissa.
from Louis. Then I feel like if she got away from
She
him,
would
things
be
could be better.
embraced and everything. Agree.
Leave that loser.
Yes. Speaking of assholes, should we do our "Am I the Asshole"
Yes,
segment
let's get into
today?
it.
Okay. So, Am I the asshole for telling my dad's girlfriend that she should be ashamed of herself for wanting to have a baby with my dad? I'm male, 16. My dad is 60 years old. My dad already has 6 kids. I'm the only one who talks to him, red flag, and the other ones are estranged from him. My dad's girlfriend is in her mid-30s, and she's been pressuring my dad for the whole year. I'm so tired of all these talks about their damn baby planning and proposal talks that I just want to put an end to it all. Today I got up and yelled at his girlfriend when my dad left to go to work. You should be ashamed of yourself for wanting to give another baby to my dad. He's too old to be taking care of kids, and 5 of his children hate him. I have schizophrenia because he was 44 when I was born. I can't imagine how mentally ill your baby is going to be. I understand my dad's upset that most of his kids don't talk to him, and he's upset that he hasn't been as involved in our lives as he wanted to be. I'm pretty sure if she wasn't in the picture, he wouldn't be thinking about having kids. Am I the asshole for telling her what I think? I should have just left it between my dad and I.
Okay, first part is I'm not a doctor. I don't know if men, like I know with women.
No, it's not.
Okay, so him saying that, I'm just like, okay, I like that. That's obviously sad. Like,
Yeah.
your mental health, I get that. But also, my opinion, and I know a lot of people won't agree with me, is your dad's a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
If he chooses to date this person, if they're talking about family, be supportive or butt out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not... Like, even if I agree with you, like, I think she should go find someone her age.
Right.
I don't know what their love is like. Maybe
Right.
this is her soulmate, But I think he should butt out. Like, you can voice your opinion to your father. I don't know why you feel the need to tell her. They're not even
Yes.
married. But I just think, mind your fucking business.
I think he's in the wrong for approaching the girlfriend about
Mm-hmm.
it. I think your issue is that your dad, who's 60, is dating a woman half his age. And it's annoying and it's weird and it's uncomfortable because you're grown and you're in high school and now your dad's going to try and have a baby and you're like, you're already so messed up. Your issue is completely with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
This woman is not trying to give your dad a baby. She is a 30-year-old woman who has I think no kids, right? And wants to be a mom. And this is who she loves. She is doing absolutely nothing wrong by being in a relationship and wanting to have a baby.
Yes. If your dad didn't want that, don't be with her. Don't
Right.
waste her time.
The issue is with your dad dating somebody who's 30 who wants those things, who's probably going to want to like do all the things, like get married and have showers and have babies and like, she's just starting her life, that chapter of her life as a 30-year-old woman, and she is 1,000% entitled to that. Your dad dating so young with somebody who's completely in a different life cycle than him is your dad's issue. You deal with that with your dad. I think it's weird, yes, but I don't think that that's her fault, and you should not be going off on her.
Yes, your opinion's valid. You're entitled to feel how you feel, but I just think your approach could have been different. And he doesn't have a relationship with his other kids, so I can see if maybe he
Right.
does want to, have a relationship with the new kid they do have.
Yeah.
And he has one with you, so I think, it's best to be supportive if they do decide to do this.
Yeah.
Because then that's going to be another kid he doesn't talk to, which is sad.
Yeah, it is sad. And there's obviously something wrong with this man, but I think that the issue's mistargeted. I don't think you should be blowing up on the girlfriend. She's just the connection in your brain to like why he's doing this. Obviously, he wouldn't be thinking of having a baby if he wasn't with a 30-year-old. Okay, fine. But it's not her fault that he's with dating someone so young. Like,
Yeah. So you're a little asshole. Just take it up with your dad.
yeah, take it up with your dad and you can say unfiltered anything you want to say.
Yes. Good luck.
Yes.
If you're watching,
Yes.
I'm probably not.
No. Let's get into our book.
Okay.
We are reading The Perfect Couple by Elin Hilderbrand. We read chapters 8 through 13 this week.
Oh, I have so many thoughts.
So many thoughts. Like, we got to know a lot of different pieces of the puzzle and there was a lot of character development. Like, we learned more about Celeste and Benji's relationship, how it started out, which sounded really nice. Also, Celeste's parents, Karen and Otis, their love is so beautiful. So the dad basically like made this speech at the wedding or at one of the dinners, and it was just like professing his love, and it was such a beautiful
Benji's mom
way
thought it was
to
cute, too.
honor. Yeah, Benji's mom was like touched and crying, and I just thought like just watching them was like so sweet. And I know, I feel like she just like feels so secure. She even said some shit that I was like, I could never, because she was like, I feel at peace knowing like he'll even move on without me when I die because she has cancer. I was like, girl,
don't get me started on poor Karen.
No. But I love Karen, and I feel so bad for her. And it's even Greer was like so touched by it that she's like been donating and she wishes she could help. So I was like, wow, like even this prissy woman.
Yeah, and then we find out Karen's having suicidal thoughts.
Yeah. Well, she's having suicidal thoughts because she's dying.
Yes.
She's dying, and
she wants to go out in her own way.
People like her, when you're falling apart, there is a means to, you know, peacefully making your exit.
Yes.
And that's a legal route. And she's not just like suicidal because she's suicidal, but she's dying. And there's so many things, like the part where she was inside the room and she's like, oh, where's Otis? Like, where's my husband? And he's swimming. And she's like, how I wish I could swim. Like, I wish I was out there. Like, she's a little, like, she's jealous. She's, you know, frail. And it was sad. It was sad.
Yeah, I think, like, you know, it's so sad that she's sick. But then I think about, like, Benji's parents, how there's, like, no love there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, at least she experienced a full life of love. And then she's already, like, you know, if he does move on, you know, I'm at peace with it. So I mostly feel bad for Benji's mom. I feel like she's going through it and then finding out, you know, she knows he's cheating, obviously. Like, that's, I want to, like, snack
she's like
tag.
empty inside. Yeah. That's like the difference between Danielle and Jen Aiden. Jen Aiden has all the money, right? And she's sitting in this empty house.
Danielle has all love.
And I'd rather have a house full of love than a house full of luxury and
empty. That's why she's such a see you next Tuesday. She's so miserable.
So miserable.
Oh, not to go back. Sorry, we got back into that.
No, but that is what it is. That's the difference.
So predictions.
Yes.
I know we have a lot more to unfold with this. Like, we find out Merritt and Tag were having an affair, obviously. Then we find out the mom saw that she had the ring, so that's who he bought the ring for. We find out she's pregnant. So when she walked out the room, Karen's room, I think she took her pills that she's using to kill herself.
100%.
So I know she took that.
And she had even said, like, they were misplaced, like she couldn't find them.
Yeah, so I feel like that's foreshadowing.
Yeah, 100%. We now know that however this death occurred, those pills were involved.
Yes, and then also we find out that Celeste has a thing for Shooter.
Yeah.
So she thought Benji was great, was so in love with him, but then she met Shooter and that changed things.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, ugh, to hear.
Yeah.
So prediction, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so I still think Abby's a ho-ho, and I think she's pregnant with Tag's dad. I think Thomas is sleeping with that feather chick.
Featherly.
I think Thomas is sleeping with her because the dad saw him at the bar.
Tag.
Yes.
That is the
a married
best
man
call.
Yep.
And we keep thinking, and it doesn't add up the timeline. Like, Greer was like, wait, maybe it's not
now
my
that
husband.
Abby's pregnant, Thomas is like, I need to get my shit together. I can't be with you anymore.
OMG.
I think Thomas is sleeping with her. I think Abby... I mean,
yes.
I mean, I don't know if Abby and Tag were a thing, but I think for sure that obviously Merritt's pregnant with Tag's baby. I don't think he killed her because of it. That's too obvious.
Right.
I don't think his wife did it either because that's too obvious.
Right.
So I'm just like, ugh.
There's another piece of this that I'm wondering if Celeste had anything to do with it. Like, this part of the stutter makes me question.
The stutter is super, like, sus.
And her mom even commented about it when she was kind of saying, like, I know that my illness has made her nervous and made her stressed, but I know that this stutter is beyond that. Like, she's making a defining point to be like, there's something else.
And she said, like, I want to tell her, like, if this isn't what you want to do, if this isn't who you want to marry, then don't do it.
Right.
You know, so the mom's already feeling for her. But her mom thinks Benji's a good guy. Yeah. Like, you know, he thinks she'll have everything she needs. He, like, the love is there.
He has money.
But yeah, Shooter's fucking shit up. Yeah. And I'm wondering, I feel like, I don't know who else it could be. And that's why I go back to Abby, because I'm wondering if they both were sleeping with Tag.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why Thomas was stepping out. His wife wasn't sleeping with him. Yeah. She got pregnant somehow. I think Tag's a little ho-ho, and I think he got them both knocked up. And I think Abby was like, you're not having his kid too. No.
I know. Tag would be obvious. It just makes so much sense also because the kayak.
Yes. Someone's setting him up. The wife even commented on that. Oh, that I don't know who he was taking it out on that.
Yeah. So who else would have access to the kayak?
And they found Shooter after he tried to leave. Yeah. That's sus too. Like, why are you, I don't know why he's.
Why are you running?
Yeah, why
Maybe
are you running?
He knows something.
Yeah. Or maybe he was involved somehow, but like didn't know how much he was involved.
Yeah.
Or maybe he could have saved her and didn't. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not.
So much.
I know. And it's like, why would she take those pills? Like, was she trying to kill herself or was she trying to kill somebody else?
Ooh, the wife? Get her out of the picture so her and Tag could be together?
Honestly.
Now that she's pregnant?
And it's crazy
And Tag
because
cut things
it
off.
makes most sense, obviously, that Tag would do it because I feel like he had this whole realization. Like,
Save
he
his
saw
family.
his son. He had this girl up in the room. And then he was like, I need to be there for my son. Like, and then just texted her on her birthday, like, sorry, I apologize. Like, I got to go. Goes home, walks in and like sees his wife, like just doing yoga and whatever. And she's like, you're home? And she was surprised and happy. And I think he was just like, that's
Let me
the
appreciate my
moment I
family.
decided
Yeah.
I'm going to be there for my son. I'm going to be there for my wife. And I'm done with this hoe. And now she says she's pregnant, like threatens it. Like that just comes at the very end. And that was how we left off.
What if it was Benji? What if he don't want his... Because she could ruin their
That's
family.
the thing.
Benji could have been like,
That's
nah.
what I was thinking. Like there has to be something. And maybe even Celeste is like,
Don't ruin our family either.
yeah, like I don't know where the stutter is coming from, unless the stutter is just like I'm being a cheater, and that is removed from the plot, and it's Benji.
I think Merritt's definitely low ho-ho, but I don't think she's messing with Benji, so I don't think it's going to be like Karen was like, let me kill her because she's not going to ruin my daughter's chance of marrying this man.
Right.
But I want to know why Shooter's on the run. There has to be more to that.
Yeah.
And we also learned Shooter was self-made, you know.
Shooter could be on the run because, like, didn't we already saw Celeste was upset that night. So there was maybe Shooter, it had to do with somebody finding out about the affair and the wedding was already off. Like they already kind of felt like the wedding was off before anybody died. Remember the night before? Like
yes, a lot of everyone
rehearsal
was
was canceled. Everyone was like, no, it was already
Yeah.
acting. Everybody was acting like it wasn't even happening. So
there's so many questions. I
yeah,
have.
there's a lot of pieces happening at the same time. And then I kind of like how then we're thrown back into like the investigation part and we're like seeing present day. Shout out to the Greek character because they keep making references to Greece and Greek things. And I love it because, you know,
With Nick?
yeah. I was dead. It
He's
was
half
so
Greek.
funny. Yes. But I love that they call him the Greek. And I
Greek,
just
yeah.
love all the references. It was funny.
I'm just
a nice
dying,
little touch for
dying
me.
to know who did it.
I know. This book is good. How are you liking it?
No, it's getting good. I just want to know. Like,
Yeah.
I want it to, but then
To wrap
again,
up.
it needs to
Or
surprise
maybe we
me.
just need just the next section of chapters to be like, oh, this is how they fit. And then we'll guess it
Well,
before the end.
One last thing. The mom that's writing the book,
Mm-hmm.
she talks about how, like, the stutter part she's using as a character for someone that, like, doesn't tell the truth.
Yes.
So now I'm, like, wondering, what if watch her stutter, like, be gone? I don't know. I'm just like, imagine it was Celeste.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That's what I was saying. That to me stood out.
Because maybe she told her she was pregnant.
That
she was crying in the garden with her.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And they were like, let's remove, like, I don't know, like, remove her from the equation, or maybe, I don't know.
Imagine plot twist. They're all in on it.
Yeah, that would be a lot.
Okay, fine.
No, I mean, it could be, but I would just be, I mean.
You've ever seen, there's a movie, I think, where, like, someone gets murdered and then we find out everyone was involved on the train. Like, it was just...
Never seen it. Don't say the name.
I don't remember what it was
You were the
called. I just
queen.
remember being like, everyone?
The queen of spoilers.
I am.
All of you. Don't watch
But
any
I'm
movies with
excited to
trains.
see
Yes.
who it is.
Maybe next week we'll just get a little bit more pieces to the puzzle so we could solve it before the end, because we usually are pretty good with this.
Yes.
Especially you. So let's see. For next week, we will be reading chapters 14 to 20 in The Perfect Couple. Amanda, do you want to plug our socials, honey?
If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe. We're also on TikTok and Instagram at Book Please Podcast. And we also have a Facebook group, Book Please Podcast /Booklets. And don't forget to purchase your tickets for September 5th.